Anvita, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi Arjun, thanks for having me.
This is the first time I'm actually doing a walk, an interview,
Yep.
while making it like a selfie kind of feature. So this is my first time doing something like this. So if you're watching this, bear with me. You might also hear gravel in the background, but we'll try and go on the less gravelly parts. Main thing is the content, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you and I can maybe start our conversation by kind of talking about how you and I know each other.
Yes. So Arjun and I met while hiking, which is an activity I enjoy a lot, and it's been monumental in me as an immigrant making friends in a new city. So I try to do it once every week, mostly on the weekends, and it has its health benefits on your body, but I believe that it has more of mental health benefits as well. The clarity of mind, the peace, relieving of stress, you can keep counting. So yeah, that's how we met, and we've been on quite a few hikes together.
We have. So this is a hiking group, yeah? And every now and then we cross paths on some of the hiking events.
Yes, we do.
And I agree with you, hiking, the benefits are incredible. You're in nature, you're meeting lovely, friendly people,
Yep.
and you're getting to be a part of the community.
Yes.
And what kind of, you're quite passionate about hiking.
Yes.
You recently did a very long hike, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yes, 3 weeks ago. So me and my friends, we went to participate in a charity hike organized by Mansfield Statewide Services for Autism. So we were raising funds for autism. More than 100 people participated in that. We ended up raising $30,000. And that was a 30-kilometer walk starting at 7 a.m. in Mansfield and finishing up at 3.
Wow.
So it was quite challenging, but very, very rewarding as well.
Where is Mansfield?
Mansfield is up in the ranges, so it's close to Mount Buffalo. So it's around 3-hour drive from Melbourne.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, yep. And it's around Lake Eildon, which is a very weird hand-shaped lake. So it's got fingers of water.
What grade is the trail?
So the trail was on the Great Victorian Railway track, which used to be a railway track back from the Gold Rush time. There's not a track anymore, but they've taken the track off and put like concrete and road there. So you're basically walking on a straight path, no incline, it's just the distance. And you have quite a lot of good views around. So you cross the lake a few times, there are nice bridges, and it was very well organized. So yeah, and quite a test for your endurance.
And what in particular attracts you most to the hiking?
Because of the kind of job I'm in, which is a corporate job, 9 to 5, being indoors and being in front of a computer all the time, I find my peace and quiet when I disconnect and I'm outside in nature. Like greenery helps me a lot, and also walking kind of brings me peace. It's just that it's an activity I can do, and I can sort of realign my mind, and I have 1,000 things going on, but while I'm walking I'm at peace. So
I guess for me, I'd just like to piggyback off what you're saying. Like when you are busy with the admin related stuff of busy city life, you come here and you see the trees just existing.
Exactly.
And I think it kind of reminds you to just take a step back and exist.
Exactly. Yes. So I think nature is the best and free therapist.
It is, literally.
Yeah, you just have to pick an activity that suits you and do that.
And what tips would you recommend? I mean, you obviously had a hiking journey that started a while back. How did that journey start for you till now? And then when you kind of talked about that, I hope maybe you could share some tips for those people who are a bit hesitant about hiking.
Yeah.
How can they get into hiking? What should they do?
So I always liked walking. However, my experience with walking was short walks. Maybe an hour in the park here and there. 2 years ago, I wanted to do more. So my first thought that came to me was, go on Facebook, there will always be something.
Yeah.
So I literally looked up hiking on Facebook and I found 2-3 groups. I joined them, and because I am I am an overthinker sometimes, but somehow I did not think too much while joining hiking groups. And I just said yes to my first hike the next week. And it was in Brisbane Ranges. I got there, it was a big group that day, almost 50 people. And it was around, I think, 14 or 15 Ks. It was challenging because, again, I had not walked more than an hour or hour and a half before that. But for me, I can persist. So that helped me a lot. And once I did that, I sort of built up the confidence to keep going. And another thing is, I live in Melbourne, so do you. And we are very lucky to have such a wide variety of experiences and nature right next to us.
That's so true.
So you go 1 hour up north from the city, you have the ranges. You go 1 hour down, you have the beaches. So we're very lucky, and I think we should utilize that. So I ended up exploring so many places, and it's amazing to not only explore nature but meet new people, build up a community, build up friendships. So it all kind of worked out.
And within Melbourne, you have a lot of hikes.
Yes.
And even going a little bit further out of Melbourne, like half an hour, you have tons of hikes, right?
Yes.
What are some hikes you recommend for those just on the edge of Melbourne?
Okay. So I'll start from my backyard, which is, I live in Richmond, and the river is just right there. So if you just start walking, and there's a trail along the river. So if you start walking there, you end up in the city, which is like a 13K hike. And it's not a difficult hike. Again, there is no inclination or anything. So I finished that hike in like 2.5 hours on a very nice day. Within the city, I like to go to botanical gardens. You can do a very big loop there. There's a tan track outside, that's 3.5 Ks. You can do that. Outside, if you go a bit further, I think Yuyangs is a nice one.
Yuyangs is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I did that a couple of weeks ago.
Last week, I did Plenty Gorge. That was really nice. This way, down in Dandenong, we have good hikes here. And I love coastal hikes as well. One of my favorite ones, which is, again, not very far from the city. Actually, you can start in the city. You can start from Port Melbourne, and you can just keep walking along the coast. You cross St Kilda, then you go to Brighton, then you go to Sandringham. That's a very good hike. And then down in Mornington, again, plenty of hikes there. So yeah, pick and choose whatever fits your mood that day.
Mornington Peninsula has good hikes. And I mean, a little bit further out of Melbourne, like 3 hours away, is Wilson's Prom.
Yes, Wilson's Prom. I've been there very recently on the long weekend. We stayed there for 3 days.
How was that?
And I had the best time there. So I'm also a big ocean and water lover. So for me, just the sight of water makes me happy, very, very happy. So and Wilson's Prom is a huge national park, has a lot of mountain peaks and things like that. So basically you climb up the peak and you get possibly the best view of the many beaches. So the beaches there are in like continuation with like rocks dividing them. So you go up Mount Oberon and you have the view of the next 3 beaches.
And
Amazing.
people from all around Victoria go just to Wilson's Prom for the beaches, right? You have Squeaky Beach.
Yes, the best. It
Fairy
has been
Cove?
voted best beach so many times. Yep.
And I remember the hiking trail there. One of them was, I think the main one. On the left side there's a cliff. On the right side there is the ocean.
Yes. It's Norman Beach to Little Oberon Bay. So you're basically walking on the edge of the cliff. It's not very high, so not dangerous at all. But it is picturesque. And you can see the Skull Rock from there, where people take a boat to. So, really good.
It's fantastic. And tips for someone who's looking to start hiking?
Just join the many groups there are on hiking. Pick one. People are very friendly in Melbourne.
Oh, 100%.
So
Especially hikers.
yes. So if you're not sure, just say yes to anything. Make a plan. Just go. I'm sure you'll be fine.
That's beautiful. I think I echo those tips. The main thing is just getting out, and once you start, I remember I was a part of the Facebook group for 2 years, and the first time I actually went was 2 years later.
Oh wow.
And then when I went on the hike, I think that was in Listerfield or Warrendyke, one of them.
Alright, yeah.
When I went there, that's when I'm like, damn, now I really want to go for every single event. Where was this in the past 2 years? Why did I not do this?
No, thank God for me that I did my first hike within 1 week of joining the group. However, because I was studying at the time, I had to take a 2 or 3 month break. And it was excruciating because I would see all these pictures and videos that people post. And I'm like, oh, I just want to be there. So as soon as I finished my studies, I was back at it again. I still remember, I think I went to Sorrento the weekend after I finished my studies and did an amazing walk there. It was so good.
And so that's for the hiking.
Yes.
You also like books.
I do.
And one of the books you were saying that you like was Nexus.
Yes.
I've also read Yuval Noah Harari's books.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about, is he one of your favorite authors?
He is. So I do like fiction more. However, I will every now and then pick up non-fiction. And one of my favorite non-fiction authors is Yuval Noah Harari. I've started and finished Sapiens 3 times. And I've read Homo Deus also. So this was my 3rd book by him, Nexus, and where he talks about communication means that humans have used over the years with evolution, and how AI is, new thing in communication. So yes, about AI and how it's going to impact humankind.
This is Nexus, the book.
This is Nexus, the book. And again, because I enjoy Yuval Noah Harari's writing style, it's very easy to read through. It doesn't feel too heavy, even though the subject matter is. So it was a very good, for me, again, learning of how he's connected the means of communication from prehistoric times and how it's going in the future, and how AI is going to affect everyday life for people. It will have obviously both good and bad things that will come out of it, of course. But yes, I thought it was very informative, and if you do enjoy that kind of material, you should definitely give it a go.
Were there any key takeaways, 1 or 2 takeaways from Nexus that you resonated with, and you think made sense?
I did agree with him anyway that AI is going to replace humans at some point or the other. It will depend on what you do and how you develop your skill as a human, so AI assists you and not replaces you. So, and one thing I would like to add, what I experience is, again, I work in a service industry. I'm always in contact with people. No matter how good AI is, a human would always want to talk to another human.
100%.
That is the human connection we still have. AI might get very advanced, but I do still believe that the human connection we have, that cannot be replaced.
It's irreplaceable. That's also why in our brains we're hardwired to have things like serotonin, oxytocin, which are very much bonding chemicals.
Yeah. And I work in a field, I'm basically a problem solver. So when people have to have their problem solved, trust me, they don't want to talk to AI. You will not get peace of mind talking to an AI about your problems. A human will definitely help you. Even if they don't offer a solution, just talking to another human being will make you feel better.
100%.
That's what my thinking is.
100%. And I guess in terms of AI, you're saying this is something with a lot of growth potential, but also some implications for maybe danger.
Yes, it depends on how humans use it. It's a very, very powerful tool. And it has developed so much in the last decade or so. It will depend on us how we program it, because it does need programming. Yes, it's building up on itself, but we as humans can still intervene and put it on the right course.
Like how we leverage the technology.
Exactly. So, yeah.
So this book, is this something you recommend that
I will, most definitely.
because I've read his other books.
Yes.
And what's his favorite book of yours?
Oh, that will always be Sapiens.
Sapiens.
Yes. Because, again, I like history. I wouldn't call myself a history nerd, but I do like history. But the way he explains evolution and relates it to the current political environment of the world, that fascinates me a lot. So, Sapiens will always be my favorite book from him.
That's beautiful. So definitely, I love his books, and I'm gonna try reading Nexus because
Please do.
I've read all his other books.
Yeah.
And he's very insightful.
Yes.
I think now we're drawing towards the end of the conversation, but there's one question I always ask
Yeah.
whoever I chat with, and that is, if you could give one piece of advice
Yeah.
to anyone who's watching this, what would it be? Any piece of advice?
Don't be afraid. Live life so that you won't have any regrets. That's my advice.
Beautiful place to leave it at. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Anvita.
No trouble.
I hope you had a fun time.
I did.
And I'll leave you all with a beautiful kind of view of where we've been hiking. Take care, guys. Catch you on the next one. And
Bye.
sorry if there was some background noise. We just thought we'd do it on the hiking trail, but it was good fun.
It was.
And a
Absolutely.
bit of a shaky hand, but we got it done.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Bye.